Hey everybody, it's Subby again. I want to give you an update on that sale out in Kansas right now. I'm going to share my stream, make sure everybody knows that I am on. Make sure everybody is aware that I am back live again. Yes. And we're going to, I'm going to kind of give I definitely want to give kind of a recap what we got going on here in just a second. I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that I am live. I wasn't expecting to go live this quick, but hey, I'm here. Basically, what I'm doing right now is just sharing the stream on all of our platforms right now. Let everybody know I am live. There we go. I think I got everybody. I do believe I got everybody going here. I'm having a hard time connecting with Subby's advisory page. So I am here. Give me just 1 second, guys. For whatever reason, it's not wanting to stream to our advisory page. So I'm just going to post a link there so that anybody from Subby's advisory page can come on board. So the line of storms that we've been tracking through West Central Missouri, down through Butler, Clinton, Windsor, Sedalia, up toward Boonville, Fayette, they have weakened along that outflow boundary that we had talked about earlier. There's really just some springtime thunderstorms along this line all the way down to Clinton. But right before we went off of our live stream, we were a little bit talking a little bit about this little cluster of storms out here in eastern Kansas, and it's continuing to stay rather robust, and it's still moving to the east. And so the National Weather Service did issue a severe thunderstorm warning for this little Boeing segment that is going to be coming affecting Blue Mound, Mound City, Lacine, Amsterdam, Amaret here over the next 20 minutes or so for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Now, the hail threat is not all that great, but mainly for these strong straight-line winds. Taking a look at these winds, it's a little bit of a wind bag right here between Osawatomie down to Parker, down to Centerville. And it's moving off to the east, heading over toward Lacine Amsterdam and Amoret here over the next 15-20 minutes. So again, I wanted to make sure everybody was aware over here in Bates County. And again, just to reiterate, these storms from Fayette, Boonville, along Sedalia down to Clinton, those are not severe. Those are not severe right now. I don't expect them to be severe. They are being weakened by this outflow boundary down stretching from El Dorado Springs all the way up to Boonville. But it's this little cluster out here in eastern Kansas. We got to remember that we are still partially under a tornado warning for the next couple hours, and they just issued a severe thunderstorm watch for our counties of Nevada, Benton County, and St. Clair County here in west central Missouri. So the National Weather Service is kind of expecting this little cluster of thunderstorms to continue to push off to the east and not sag to the south. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to go back live again. I even sent my partner back home to Calhoun, Missouri. And now we're going to be concerned with this little line segment out here near Blue Mound and Mound City. So in Edwards, actually, you guys were just placed under you guys are just been placed under a severe thunderstorm watch for the next few hours over there. So again, you know, I have a feeling Benton County yourself is not under that watch. It's mainly for areas west of Highway 65. But, you know, I would go ahead and kind of consider Benton County here over the next few hours to possibly be included into a watch. But Vernon, St. Clair, as well as Hickory County, you guys are all in that severe thunderstorm watch for the next few hours. We're monitoring this little segment between Osawatomie down to Blue Mound, Kansas, still moving off to the east. We'll go ahead, let's do a time track on this. Looks like Butler in about 41 minutes, Passaic in about 40 minutes, Amoret in 24 minutes. We can do the same thing for, let's go up a little bit further to the south. Up toward the north, we got Amsterdam 23 minutes, Adrian 38 minutes, Archie 39 minutes, Passaic 39 minutes, and Garden City in 51 minutes, assuming that this little cluster of thunderstorms move at the same speed, same direction over the next hour. So, Osceola, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm watch for the next few hours, mainly for this segment of a line of storms right here in Kansas. It's going to continue to push off to the east, and we're going to be watching this line of storms right here. This line that originally come through, this thing has weakened considerably because of this outflow boundary. We had an additional line that built out here in eastern Kansas, and it seems like it is retaining its strength. Now, we don't know once it crosses the state line and gets in some of that rain-cooled air if it's going to kind of fall apart like this line or if it's going to maintain its intensity. So we're going to be monitoring this here over for a while. And we'll see what this has to bring with us on round number 2 of the live stream. We got just a second. I did not get a chance to grab a drink or anything right now, guys. So give me just 1 sec. I'll be right back with you. I'm gonna grab something to drink. We might be on here for just a little while as we continue to watch this little cluster of thunderstorms make its way over to the state line. So give me just a sec, guys. I'll be right back with you. All right, I am back. So, a little bit of an update here, and again, our original line of storms that we have followed moving across west central Missouri, that was the initial strong line. It developed an outflow. They became outflow dominant, and this line has really weakened from Fayette down to Boonville, Sedalia, down to Clinton. But there's an additional line segment that began to intensify out in Kansas, and it is now stretched across Lacine to Mound City down to let's see here, that would be Humboldt, Kansas, down by Iola. And this is actually packing some pretty good winds right now, and it caused another severe thunderstorm warning for up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. And it's going to be affecting Lacine, Pleasanton, Lynn Valley, Amsterdam, Amoret, Hume here over about the next 20 minutes or so, and then cross over into Bates County. So there is a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 28 minutes for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that's going to be for southern Miami, Lynn County, and east central Kansas, and the western half of Bates County in west central Missouri. So again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is the primary concern for this line of storms. So decided to go ahead and go back live again so we can follow this little line segment as it comes across the state line. So here is the tornado, or I'm sorry, the severe thunderstorm watch that has been issued till 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. And that includes both Nevada, Vernon County, as well as St. Clair County and Hickory County here in west central Missouri. So again, that southern line segment that developed in Kansas is kind of the culprit for issuing this severe thunderstorm watch. So, and again, you know, anytime we have this line of storms like this, we always have to watch out for a spin up or two. But again, it looks like to me that it's beginning to develop a little bit of an outflow over here near Uniontown. Now we'll wait after the next couple more refresh of radar to see if this is actually developing a little bit of an outflow, which would be good news, meaning that maybe it might begin to weaken like our first initial line did. But we'll continue to watch that here over the next few minutes. But definitely pretty strong line segment. Let's check velocities here real quick. We've got a little pocket of probably 50-55 mile per hour winds over Fontana and just southwest of Lacine is where the strongest of the winds are at right now. So basically, let me put a little area, a little pocket of 50-55 mile per hour winds out here, maybe over here along 169 near Paola. But of course, all of this is still moving off to the east at about 50 miles per hour. So it's going to be crossing a state line relatively quickly. And again, I'm not all that sold on this line of storms. It's behind this outflow that was created with our initial line of storms. You know, we always got to be, you know, weather aware for something like this, but it's a little surprising to me that if this will continue across the state line with the same intensity, because it's definitely going to be going over some much cooler air as what this line of storms was moving through earlier this evening. So again, it's something that we're going to be paying close attention to as it continues to move across the state line, guys. For those of you between Boonville, Sedalia, down to Clinton, Lincoln, Colcamp, you know, you have some 35, maybe 40 mile per hour wind gusts, but nothing severe with this line of storms at all. We are just concerned what is going on over here on the Kansas side here over the next few hours. So, Billie Jean, as far as up at Lathrop, they're good up there. They had some stronger storms earlier in the night, but they're fine the rest of the night. All of this is still off the bedtime up here, really anywhere along I-70 to the north. And again, we are kind of just keeping a close eye on this little segment stretching from Paola down to Iola as it makes its way over into Bates County, southern Cass County. It could be packing 60-mile-per-hour winds. It is behind the outflow. So the outflow is way over here in Benton County. It looks like it could be developing its own little outflow, rain-cooled air out ahead of the line, which can help degrade that line of thunderstorm, but it's still packing a pretty good punch as it begins to head into Bates County and into southern Cass County. Hi, Christina. If it continues the same direction, yeah, we could. Henry County could be seeing some of these winds come through. Again, a lot of times when you have rain-cooled air over here that has already come through. Let me just show you guys here. Let me put my pen back on. So all of this area here has been cooled off because of rain-cooled air. We had an outflow that pushed through. Here is the outflow boundary right now. Now, typically, when this line of storms right here begins to hit that cooler, rain-cooled air, it will begin to sink south toward that uninhibited air that is down that hadn't received any rain yet tonight. But so far, it is still moving off to the east. So if it continues the same track, it can affect southern Cass, Bates County over towards St. Clair and Henry County. And I'm still kind of continue to wait to see this thing maybe take a little bit of a turn to the south. But so far, it's still plugging away to the east at almost 50 miles per hour. So I had a couple people message me on the website wanting to know about Weather Call and how to sign up. So that was after we ended the live stream. So again, Weather Call, fantastic. It's a service. Whereas if you get a warning, something critical like a tornado warning or 70-mile-per-hour winds, you're going to get a phone call regardless of the time of day. And you're going to hear me on the other end of that line, and I'm going to tell you what the warning is and how you can protect yourself. So it is a fantastic program. A little more than $1 a month. It's $15 for the entire year, and it will follow you wherever you go. If you hit the button, you're going on vacation to Branson, it's going to put a dome around you in Branson and still notify you any threatening weather down where you're at. It's a great application. I'm going to go ahead and put the, let's see here. I am going to, let me go ahead and put this up for you guys. It is going to come in through the chat. You can click on that link. That will take you to Weather Call where you can sign up. If you're watching this on your desktop at home, here is a QR code that you guys can open up your camera setting, hover it over that QR code, it'll take you right to that link. But that's Weather Call Next Gen, fantastic service that they offer. We worked together on this last year. Many of you have taken advantage of it, which is great news. Multiple layers to get that weather information when you need it. And again, an extra layer, layers save lives. So definitely a great program. So we still have another 15 minutes left on this severe thunderstorm warning that is going to include Mountain City, Pleasanton, Lacey, Amsterdam, far western Bates County for the possibility of 60-mile-per-hour winds. We will likely see it get extended over to Vernon County as well, as the southern half of this little line segment will be coming across into Vernon County here within the next 25-30 minutes. The winds have subsided a little bit as they get close to the state line. Not seeing those 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Drexel, you guys are getting probably 45, 50 mile per hour winds up here near Drexel. But right now we're not seeing really a whole lot of evidence of strong winds right now. But of course that can change just about with every refresh of radar. So Benton County had been placed under a severe thunderstorm watch until 7 a.m. Samantha. So you're one of the lucky ones. You are under a watch till 7 a.m. and that's for nothing that's ongoing right now. This is all associated with a weakening line of storms. This is going to be for these cells out here in Kansas that have intensified over the last hour or 15 minutes and is now moving into Bates County. So again, this is going to continue off to the east, and probably within the next probably 2 hours. Warsaw about an hour and a half for you guys over in Warsaw, Lincoln, and Co-Camp Cross Timbers. Clinton in about 45 minutes. Montrose 35 minutes, Larry City 53 minutes, Calhoun an hour, Leesville an hour. So, and that's assuming that this continues to go the same route, same speed, so give or take a few minutes. Elizabeth is moving right at 48 miles per hour right now. So that was a little bit of a timing that we just looked at there. They do have another meso discussion. I'm going to see what Storm Prediction Center is talking about. Oh, that was just for flooding potential with this line of storms here. So something we don't talk a whole lot about that really needs to be talked about. We're going to be having some thunderstorms moving across the same areas. So again, we need to be keeping weather aware on the flooding potential. Maybe some urban flooding, some flash flooding possible. The creeks and rivers are bank full right now anyway. And then we're going to get some more rainfall that's going to aggravate those flooding conditions. So definitely, especially if you live near Grand River, Blackwater, Big Creek, those reach flood stage very, very quickly, and they're already bank full. So make sure you keep weather aware about that potential of flooding. Hi, Amber. So I have a feeling. So this line of storms is going to be coming into Vernon County. Vernon County is under a severe thunderstorm watch till 7 a.m. So this particular line right now still has about 9 minutes left. They have not extended it into Vernon County yet. I don't know if they will. I'm not seeing really much evidence of those strong winds that it was showing a little bit ago over here near Lacine. As this line is moving into Bates County right now, I'm not seeing any evidence of any 50, 60 mile per hour winds right now. And that goes the same down here in the Fort Scott area. I'm going to switch radars. And again, not seeing really a lot of it is distorted because we're far away. Pleasanton, Mound City, into Bates County is kind of in between the radar sites, so we don't get a real good picture a lot of the time, but not seeing anything too concerning as it goes into Vernon County right now. You bet, Amber. So here in Henry County, Bates County, Cass, and Johnson, we were still under that tornado watch. It goes for about another 50 minutes. So, we're still under that tornado watch. They have not lifted that as of yet. But again, there's the tornado threat very, very low. But we always, with this rather intense line of storms coming through Bates County, southern Cass County right now, we always have that little potential with this kind of setup. So I'm kind of surprised that we still have a strong line segment like we do right now moving across the state line, as we've already had some thunderstorms move through west central Missouri. We have an outflow boundary well to the east, rain-cooled air around this line of storms. but it's still rather robust. So we're going to be here watching it as it continues to push off to the east here in west central Missouri. So that's actually a good question. You have to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind too. Kenneth was talking about. You think maybe National Weather Service should have another radar site, and there's. I'm afraid no matter how many of these very very expensive NexRad towers that they put up, unfortunately you're gonna have some dead areas. There's just no way really around that. The way they've got it set up across the United States right now, of course, they just don't put them up and without doing much analysis on that. They have algorithms that try to maximize the coverage of the entire United States by the placement of these NexRad radars, but if you're gonna spend multi tens of millions of dollars to put up a NexRad tower into an area where 50% of it is already covered by another tower, it's not cost feasible for them to put up another tower. So I definitely understand what you're saying, but unfortunately that's just something that the only thing they do is most of your airports have their own radar. It's not very powerful. It just goes around the airport, but obviously there's a lot of there has to be a lot of concern right around the airport for crosswinds and whether or not it's freezing when it hits the ground. They have to know there's hundreds and hundreds of lives, thousands of lives on the line whenever planes take off and land at airports. So Kansas City KCI is a prime example, and they have one. They have one up here in KCI as well. I don't have those highlighted to be able to use, only because they're very weak, and it doesn't really help us out, but it does the airports. But that's a good question. Very that's a very good question you asked there. So this is, and again, this little line segment, now that it's crossed the state line, doesn't look quite as impressive as what it did here when it was, over here on this side of the state line in Kansas. We'll go ahead and put this into motion, and you see those bright red colors on the Kansas line, some pinks, a little bit more of a curvature. And now it crosses the state line, and it's becoming more jagged, and maybe even a little bit of an outflow beginning to take place between Rich Hill and Fort Scott. And again, it's going over rain-cooled air. The atmosphere just hasn't recovered enough to really intensify this line segment. So again, I'm not too concerned about this, but we're keeping a close eye on it since it is right here in west central Missouri. We want to make sure everybody is up to date with what is going on. So, and guys, I'm not going to going to tell you that you can go to bed when we've got thunderstorms that and an active severe thunderstorm warning in west central Missouri. I would say Sedalia, you're probably going to be in good shape to go to bed right now. Warrensburg, the same way. The line of storms that prompted us going live has weakened considerably. It's coming into Columbia. It's fairly weak. Just some isolated thunderstorms all the way down through Benton County, Henry County. But we do have this little line segment here. That's the reason why we decided to go live again, because there was a severe thunderstorm warning that was impacting part of west central Missouri. This continues to move off to the east, and so we're going to sit here and watch this. And of course, if we're still under a tornado watch, still under a severe thunderstorm watch, you know, I'm not gonna let my guard down. When we ended the live stream, you know, the first initial line was really weakening, and it continued to weaken, kind of what we thought. But man, that line really built up out there in Kansas and continued on the same easterly path right into Bates County. But as you can see, they allowed them to expire the severe thunderstorm warning. So as of right now, west central Missouri is not under any warnings right now. We're going to continue to monitor this segment right here for the next few minutes, make sure that it's going to behave itself, and then we'll probably just do some updating on social media and in the live stream. But we're gonna follow this little line segment as it comes through Bates County, just to make sure that we don't get any strong winds, something that you need to know about. And again, when I'm looking here on radar, guys, I have several pieces of software that is up. This is just the one that you can see. We always take a look. I always have up on my screen GR Earth, which is a this tells me so much information. It's just a little bit harder to understand sometimes. But you know, I can switch this to radar. I can see rotation tracks. I can see the rainfall totals, lightning intensities, which we don't have a whole lot of. Rotation over the last hour. There's so much information that I can gain from this particular program, as well as chatting with the National Weather Service out of Springfield and Pleasant Hill. I also have another one with cloud tops and temperatures of the cloud tops that tells me the hail probability. So I've got a lot of screens that I watch whenever we have severe weather possible in our area. So if it looks like I'm cross-eyed, that's probably the reason why, is because I'm looking at so many screens around me. Yeah, so that little line segment had moved through Adrian, Passaic. It's coming into Butler now. Rich Hill is coming right into Rich Hill, all the way down to Metz, Richards, and parts of Vernon County. But again, there's no warnings out for west central Missouri right now. Just some very strong thunderstorms moving through Bates, Southern Cass, and Vernon counties right now. Thanks for that report, Bill. And again, if you guys are watching on YouTube, you know, make sure you guys spread whenever we go live on YouTube. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button there on the stream. That way you get notified every time I go live on YouTube, which is fantastic. And make sure you share the stream. The whole goal of what we do here is try to get that weather information out to as many people as possible. The more likes that you guys do on the videos, there's an algorithm with YouTube that will put that up. Anybody that turns on YouTube in West Central Missouri, Subby's Weather Talk live stream is going to be one of the suggestive videos to watch. So all that plays a big part on getting weather information out to people. So please like, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I do have our that's Subby's Weather Talk at Subby's Weather Talk on YouTube. So make sure you hit the subscribe, hit that little bell notification, and then that way you will get notified every time I go live. And then of course hit the thumbs up, the like button, and that will help get that information out to more and more people. No new updates from the National Weather Service coming in right now. This is looking really messy again, similar to what we seen back when we ended our first live stream. If you guys kind of remember, you know, it starts looking a little bit jaggedy, if not all compacted. A big line of storms moving through. It's more spread out now, jagged. And I don't think this thing is going to reorganize. We're going to get some thunderstorms in Clinton, Montrose, Appleton City, all the way down to El Dorado Springs and Nevada. But right now, again, I just don't think these storms can survive once they come across the state line. And you can definitely see them weaken as I put this in motion. You know, as it comes across the state line, now it's just kind of falling apart. So it was pretty strong as it got up to the state line, and now it's just kind of falling apart right now. So we're going to continue to watch this here over the next few minutes. You know, we have another severe thunderstorm warning out here in Kansas. That's going to be 460-mile-per-hour winds, and that's way out there in Yates Center, near Howard, Fredonia, Kansas. It's still moving to the east, so it could affect some of our West Central Missouri people in Vernon County here in the next hour and a half or so. So again, we kind of have to wait till these storms begin to sag a little bit further to the south, but it seems like they're going across the same area over and over again, and that can lead to flash flooding as well. They're still issuing a bunch of damage reports up in the Leavenworth area, Bonner Springs, out in eastern Kansas from earlier in the evening when that line of storms was really strong as it entered into the KC metro area up near Liberty and Buckner along 24 Highway, and they're still just issuing damage reports from emergency managers as well as from the public. They're just non-stop storm reports coming in from the National Weather Service. So pretty intense nights of storms out there in eastern Kansas and central Kansas and up in northwest Missouri for sure. We got pretty lucky tonight, guys. I do feel we got pretty lucky. The timing of the storms coming in after dark, pretty much when instability is at its lowest, as well as having that outflow dominance of that line of storms, keeping them kind of below severe limits. We did have one tornado warning in West Central Missouri up in Cass County early on. Did show some great radar signatures, but so far I've seen a report of one small tree down in Cass County. So that was up on the east side of Raymore. So very, very lucky tonight. Thanks for subscribing, James. I appreciate that. Thank you. So kind of what we expected. I think we talked about this about 15, 20 minutes ago. They did go ahead and include Benton County, that's Warsaw, in that severe thunderstorm watch till 7 a.m. They were not in that, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit ago that likely Benton County will be added in there as this line of storms moves a little closer. And the National Weather Service is going to go ahead and come out with that severe thunderstorm watch for Benton County. That's going to include Lincoln, Colcamp, Warsaw, Lakeview Heights. So again, I'm not. This is not a big time severe setup, guys. We're under that watch, but again, these things are hitting already rain cooled air. So they're going to have a real hard time of intensifying any at all. Yeah, this line of storms is going to impact the St. Clair County, Osceola, Lowry City area. Right now, it's not severe. It's just going to be a lot of cloud to ground lightning. There's going to be gusty winds, probably up to 40 miles per hour. It's going to be a robust thunderstorm, but nothing severe, I don't think, with this next little line coming into St. Clair County. Thank you, Shelby, also for subscribing. I would say with their next update, I'd say we're probably going to get we'll see where Hickory County as well as Benton County get added into that pink color. That's a severe thunderstorm watch. But again, nothing imminent is I'm seeing right now for any severe storms here in west central Missouri. Hi, Chuck. Yeah, I mean the strong stuff. Ever since we ended the first live stream, I'm just not, my confidence level of anything strong as far as thunderstorm goes is very, very low right now. I think the chances for any more severe weather here in west central Missouri is very low. And even though Bates County got underneath that severe thunderstorm warning there in western Bates County, as soon as these storms kind of hit the state line into areas that's already received rainfall and that rain cooled air, they just begin to weaken considerably. So I think for the most part our severe threat is basically done tonight, but we're still watching this little area right here from Adrian Butler, Rich Hill, Appleton City. We're kind of watching this all the way down to Nevada. And again, I think we're going to see it continue to kind of stretch out, get more jagged looking, and weaken as it continues to push off to the east. So you did notice Benton County and Hickory County both added to that severe thunderstorm watch for that potential of a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. Hi, Sean. So I don't think St. Louis is going to have much of an issue tonight. By the time this line make it to you in the early morning hours, 4 a.m., instability is going to be very, very low. You're going to get some showers and thunderstorms because this is a pretty drastic cold front moving through. But I don't think you have to worry too much about severe weather in St. Louis. No new updates right now. So looking at Tuesday evening, Sean, let's take a look at the Storm Prediction Center. So you guys for tomorrow is in that slight risk. Let me see if I can make this a little bit better so you can see it a little bit better. Let's go here. I know chat sometimes cut that off just a little bit. So here you can see this just a little bit better. So tomorrow St. Louis is going to be in a slight risk put out by the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma. And again, this is where that cold front is going to be draped across. Okay, so the hail threat for tomorrow is about 5%. So you do have a chance to see some hail. You do have a wind threat. And then, of course, the tornado threat is very, very low. It's 0 right now for St. Louis. So strong straight line winds is going to be the biggest threat with any of those thunderstorms that come through the St. Louis area tomorrow. So again, not a big severe weather day, but 60-mile-per-hour winds can pack a punch. How's Joplin looking tonight? So, unfortunately, I know I had text Doug Hetty down at Joplin, and he was a former meteorologist for the TV station down there, and now he kind of went out on his own. He's also part of the Weather 2020 LRC group that I'm in with Gary Lezak, and once they issued that severe thunderstorm watch till 7 a.m., Doug was just like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me, you guys!" And so, unfortunately for Joplin, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm watch till 7 a.m. This line of storms that are out here in southeast Kansas is a culprit for that severe thunderstorm watch. So this is going to continue to push off to the east, a little bit to the south, and probably here in a couple hours, 3 hours maybe, is when you can expect down in the Joplin area to be affected by some of these thunderstorms here in southeast Kansas. So kind of a long night for you, but again, I still don't think they're gonna be borderline severe. If they are, maybe a strong wind gust or two, but unfortunately, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch till 7 a.m. Just now coming in, a thunderstorm wind damage near Pleasant Hill. Got some power lines down in Pleasant Hill from the earlier storm that actually produced a tornado warning for Cass County, including Pleasant Hill. So Osceola, Lowry City, you have a line of storms that's going to be that line is actually just now coming into St. Clair County. And again, moderate, brief heavy rains, a little bit of lightning, maybe some wind gusts at 30-35 miles per hour, but that's about it right now. So no warnings out for St. Clair County, no warnings out for West Central Missouri, period. Right now, the entire state of Missouri is without a warning outside of flash flood up near Maryville, Trenton area. But nonetheless, we're going to give it a few more minutes. Kind of interested in seeing this cell down here, Yates Center. It does look like it's kind of pushing a little bit further to the south. But we're going to give it a few more minutes, watch this little cluster of thunderstorms as it comes into Henry, St. Clair County, down to El Dorado Springs, and we'll watch this over the next few minutes just to make sure. Yeah, quite a lightning show. We can probably jump over here real quick. MidwestMeso.com, that is our website for our research team. And I'm kind of the lead on this. We have storm chasers. They go out. They put out probes out in front. We've seen that tonight with Nader Boys. They set up a couple probes out ahead of some storms in Kansas, and to get them data that we can send to the National Weather Service to help them in their research process of trying to figure out why some cells produce strong straight line wind, tornadoes, and why some don't. So you can go to MidwestMeso.com. You can click on the tab here, and you can go to our live cams, and we can take a look at what is going on. Say, let's go to Dayton, and let's look off to the south, see where we can find some lightning. So we're in Dayton, Missouri, looking south. So it's quite a lightning show out there this evening. Dayton is right kind of on the Bates Cass County line, kind of, but we're looking toward the south, toward Clinton, and of course we see quite a bit of lightning out there. So definitely check out our live cams. It's on MidwestMeso.com. You guys can take a look. We have several cams out there. You can also check out WeatherWise radar. That's what I use in our streams. You guys can use that for free. And then, of course, we have all kinds of other information there, including a weather blog that I do on it. So check that out when you guys get a couple minutes. So Clinton, Deepwater, down to El Dorado Springs, you guys are going to see some wind gusts, 30, 35 miles per hour, some heavy rains at times, a lot of lightning. It's starting to come through your neck of the woods, but nothing severe in the state of Missouri as of right now. Hi, Stacy. You're welcome. WeatherWise is a great tool to have, guys. There's so many bells and whistles on WeatherWise. You can keep it as simple as you like, or you can make it as advanced as you like. Using WeatherWise, the free version. There's no ads or nothing like that. It's free version, and you get a ton, everything that you would want in a free version of WeatherWise. And you can actually pick that up by going to weatherwise.app, or you can just go to Subby's Weather Talk or MidwestMeso.com, and you can utilize WeatherWise right there on our website. So Osceola, yeah, we just talked about that here just a second ago, Serena. So that line of storms, as you can see right here, we've got a line of storms moving into Clinton, Deepwater, and then eventually Larry City, Osceola, Roscoe, El Dorado Springs. Just some moderate rain, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder, and maybe some brief wind gusts up to 30, 35 miles per hour along the leading edge. No severe weather is here in west central Missouri right now. The tornado threat is very, very, very low right now. Sorry, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. Most of all of these cells are elevated. They're not surface based, meaning that some of those winds are going to make it down to the surface. We'll get maybe a brief wind gust up to 50, 55 miles per hour, but tornado threat very, very low with any of these storms out here tonight right now. Hi, Gracie. As far as Clinton and the possibility of bedtime, we're just now getting into that line of storms right now. It's going to be loud for a little bit here in Clinton, but again, not expecting not expecting any severe weather for Clinton. I think you can probably go ahead and go to bed in Clinton. You just have to know that it's going to be a little loud for about the next 30 minutes or so. So, of course, with these storms, guys, I want to kind of, I know I've mentioned this a couple, three times tonight, but it's something we don't talk probably enough about, and that's the flooding potential. When we have these storms coming across the same areas, pretty much for the last 5 6 hours, we're gonna have that chance of seeing some urban flooding, some street flooding. There's going to be water ponding over the highways if you're out and about, maybe heading, getting off third shift or going into a shift. We need to be paying attention to that because we've had a lot of rainfall over the area here over the last 48 hours. Oh, thank you, Gracie. I appreciate that. So looking ahead a little bit, of course we ought to have a really nice day as we go into tomorrow mid morning. I think some of these showers and thunder showers are gonna kind of hang out for a little while, kind of like they did today here, and then kind of clear out. We're going to be a little cooler into the 60s after the passage of this cold front tomorrow. But I think by tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, it'll be just gorgeous out there. We do have a little bit of cooler weather coming in. This front, this cold front, is actually going to stall out down in the Boot Hill, and it's going to be coming back as a warm front on Thursday into Friday. We do have the potential to see some thunderstorms. Right now, it's not looking too impressive, but we'll need to stay up to date with the latest information for some of those thunderstorms to reappear on Thursday night into Friday. We could have a couple strong storms then, and then I think we're going to have a nice weekend. So that's the good news out of this tonight. Just about for Sedalia. It ends at 1 a.m. Benton County, Warsaw, you guys are under a severe thunderstorm watch till 7 a.m. I have a feeling it's likely going to expire earlier than that once this line of storms get through. But we're staying here on this live stream just for a little bit. Really right now, this is really the strongest little part of this line of storms that are out there right now, and it's not severe warned right now. But you're going to get quite a bit of lightning. You're going to get some brief heavy rains as well as some gusty winds. So, we have to you know, a severe thunderstorm, we can't ever rule that out completely. We can't rule out a spin up, weak circulation when we're dealing with the line of storms. You know, I wish I can tell everybody, hey, there's absolutely no chance of any more severe weather, but we can't do that. Unfortunately, Mother Nature won't allow us to. So this is something that you know, kind of help keep everybody anxiety down a little bit. We follow these storms through. Most of the time, I wouldn't even be live right now without having any severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings or anything like that. But this little line segment continues to impress me a little bit on how it can continue, even though you know, even though it's going over rain cooled air and an outflow boundary. So I'm going to continue to watch this here over the next few minutes. We do have some pretty heavy rain, maybe even a little bit of a hail core coming into El Dorado Springs. You might get some pea-sized hail down there around El Dorado. Along, you know, we're starting to see, that's where you start to see some of these little purples and pinks. That's extremely heavy rain, or maybe even some small hail associated with that. Kind of keeping a close eye. There's some very weak circulation down here near El Dorado Springs, but again, these things are elevated. They're elevated in nature. They're not surface-based storms, so it doesn't concern me as much as if this was about 3-4 hours ago, when we had a lot of surface-based storms out in eastern Kansas. But nonetheless, it's definitely something to kind of keep an eye on, because again, we can't 100% rule out a short little spin up with any little line segment like this. It's very unlikely, but again, you know, we could be seeing some pea-sized hail coming into El Dorado Springs, maybe some gusty winds right now, looking like, you know, we could have maybe 40-50 mile per hour winds coming across El Dorado Springs right now. So not warned, not special weather statement or anything right now, but it's pretty robust thunderstorms coming into El Dorado Springs. Yeah, Chuck, I just I'm down here in the cellar and I heard the thunder. And again, we're getting some pretty heavy rains here in Clinton, Deepwater area, Calhoun, all the way down to Lowry City, get ready to come into Osceola. I am just going to confirm with the National Weather Service down here in St. Clair County. These still to me look like they are elevated. They're behind the outflow. Just kind of want to make sure that we're not overlooking something here in St. Clair County. This is right along El Dorado Springs, really right over 54 Highway in El Dorado Springs. So I'll wait to get a response back from them, but they do look very elevated right now. I don't think there's anything we need to be too concerned about here. Yep, they are definitely elevated in nature. So we just don't have to worry about much down here in St. Clair County or down here near El Dorado Springs. Just some heavy rains. So we're in good shape here. And again, we're getting a pretty good dose of moderate to heavy rain from Clinton down to Osceola, Lowry City, Roscoe, and El Dorado Springs. Have snow or a tornado? Well, see, I'm split. I'm split on that, Chris. So, severe weather is fascinating to me. From lightning to hail to tornadoes, cloud structure, it's fascinating to me. So, I don't like when we see damage, but man, I love a good thunderstorm. But we don't like to see damage. We don't like to see strong tornadoes. I'd be perfectly happy to see a wide open field in Wyoming with no structures whatsoever and a beautiful stovepipe tornado coming across the field. That's my bucket list. All right, guys. So they did go ahead expire the tornado watch. So for Pettis, Johnson, Cass, Henry, and Bates County, there's no longer a tornado watch. So that's good news. So you notice we have this line of thunderstorms all the way down into Oklahoma. And they are moving to the east. They have a little bit of a southerly approach, and the individual cells are moving to the northeast. So kind of multi-directional. They still have this severe thunderstorm warning out near Fredonia, Chanute. This is going to be continuing to move over toward the state line, toward Vernon County. That's one of the reasons why there's a severe thunderstorm watch out for these southern counties like Vernon, as well as Hickory and St. Clair and Benton County. But again, once these things cross the state line, they don't seem too strong. But we're not dealing with an outflow boundary or an outflow like we did with the earlier storms now. You know, this little line of storms that we're looking at right now that is going to be coming into Benton County and St. Clair County and over toward Nevada, you know, there's not an outflow there. So these things, you know, could produce a 60-mile-per-hour wind. Another good clap of thunder. Rain in Osceola just now starting, says Stacy. Well, guys, I tell you, I know there's still there's quite a few of you still here in the live stream. Everything that I am looking at, and after talking with the National Weather Service as well, you know, we could be seeing, you know, a strong wind gust, 30, 40, maybe 50 mile per hour associated with this line right here. But for the most part, you know, we don't have a whole lot of severe potential. Borderline severe, maybe a 60 mile per hour gust. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. You guys don't need to hear me chatter about nothing here over the next few minutes. I'm going to continue. I'm going to be down here at the Weather Center. I'm going to continue to monitor this line of storms. Make sure that you're a member of Subby's Weather Talk group and the West Central Missouri Advisory page on on Facebook. And I will update if there's something needs to be updated, some information. I will do it in a post versus keeping you guys here up all night in the live stream when we're just having, you know, just your strong springtime thunderstorms moving through the area. So if anybody needs to reach out to me, feel free to send me a message on Facebook. I will try to answer them. And again, I'm not just shutting this off, going to bed. I am going to continue to monitor this. A lot of the severe thunderstorm warnings have been canceled over on the Kansas side. So, you know, really we kind of blow this out just a little bit. I mean, there's not much going on at all around us. So I don't think there's going to be really a whole lot we need to worry about. It's going to be loud if you're down in Benton County, Bolivar, Osceola, Lowry City. It's going to be loud for a little while. But again, if there's anything that needs to be updated, I will do that in a post. So again, guys, appreciate you guys joining the live stream. Thank you for all the support you guys giving me tonight. Make sure you share the stream as much as you can. That way we can try to get more people in our YouTube group, because that's a great way to get people who might not be members of Subby's Weather Talk to be able to find our stream and be able to give that information out to them. So make sure to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel especially. And Christina, I want you to have a great rest of your night as well. So everybody have a good rest of the night. And then I'll be updating, of course, the weather potential for thunderstorms Thursday night. I'll be updating all that tomorrow on all of our social media platforms.